Alrighty.
And what's nice also is that the mic on my phone doesn't seem to be picking up like when I shift or, or something like that. So that's good.
That's
That's
good.
an improvement.
Do you ever think that your life as a parent feels like a juggling act? With Purdue Global,
Time
the juggling act.
that's plugged in, so that won't die. Let me pick up everything. Yes, you're very cute.
Golly. My freaking Fuji. No regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets.
All right. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Cool. So, we find our heroes in the city of Respite in the beloved Vale of Altran. The three of you were brought together by a man named Gideon, who tasked you all with what was supposed to be a fairly easy job of just escorting a carriage into the city, claiming some sort of dispute with the caravan guards. After discovering that this was not going to be as easy as he had planned for, you fought orcish raiders who were uncharacteristically close to Respite and uncharacteristically wielding enchanted weapons. You made it back with the carriage unscathed. Well, undead. Made it back. The next morning, discussed some of these circumstances with one of the rangers of the Red Waste who covered your escape into the city. Hearing about the enchanted weapon and already being concerned, this lieutenant decided that the southern settlements of the Vale needed to be warned. So she and two of her allies left to go warn the other rangers that someone is funding the usually unfunded Orcish raiders.
Shadow government.
Shadow government. With that, you guys went to the Eravath Athenium. You spoke with Torgir, one of the regularly visiting scholars and current travel companion of Katya. Discussed a number of things. Discovered that Katya's been having dreams regarding the moon. As approximately 5 years prior, a second moon appeared in the sky. Torgir discovered that approximately 5,000 years prior, there were a number of reports of similar dreams, although a moon was not involved. But other than the presence of a moon, they were identical. With that, you all went to do some shopping at Zerelda's trading post. Met Zerelda, the gnomish proprietor. As she apparently once again was refusing an offer for a buyout from a halfling businessman who seemed fairly persistent in buying her establishment. You guys bought some items from her. Noted some items that she was selling that was a little bit too expensive for you. But were then approached by a warrior, full plate, heavily armored, and incredibly tall for a human. You were introduced to. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. You were introduced to Alden Brooker, who is a warrior currently in service to Supriya Pradeep, who is the unofficial mayor of Respite. Respite has no centralized government, but she is one of the wealthiest people in Respite, and due to a lot of her charitable measures, um, people pretty much are of the opinion that she runs the city. You were invited to dinner with her. You visited her textile factory, and noted that the workers all seemed fairly happy to be working there. Nobody, there weren't nets around the windows or anything. And you were escorted to her office where she had a bountiful feast set up for you. As you guys sat down and prepared to eat, she asked, what the fuck are you doing in my city? And that is where we will resume.
I thought she said, "What the fuck is going on in our city?"
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on in your city? One of the two.
The orcs are being funded by the shadow government.
What was her name? Supriya
Pradeep.
Supriya Pradeep. Good evening, Mayor. Is a mayor a term? Madam Pradeep. Good evening. Well, I myself am new to this city, but I can't really tell you what goes wrong in the city, but I feel it'd be disrespectful, but there are orcs going around and they are brandishing their weapons with this symbol, and I'll explain the symbol, and for some reason when we were trying to run away for our lives, certain factions were being disciplined for saving us.
Certain factions. The
Yes,
Rangers of the Red Waste.
We were saved by the Rangers of the Red Waste. Yes, they met us and fought off the orcish raiders while we're out on the job. And when we came back to the tavern, seems to be some armored gentleman, a captain of some kind, a lieutenant or something, who's seemed to have a bit of a disagreement. Something about sounds something political. Garnering favors from the masses and so on.
That sounds like Commander Ulgog.
That was him, yes.
Noted. He and I have not always seen eye to eye. I have some prior affiliation with the Rangers of the Red Waste. he and I butt heads regularly. She kind of looks around and says, "What were you doing outside of the city?"
Well, I can only speak for myself, but I came here on my own a week or so back, and due to some the how to say, there's a mismanagement of payment for my carriage. I am here with a different traveling companion who's at the library, Torgir, the dwarf, and when we arrived, we arrived only halfway, and we had to swap carriages. It was annoying, but as a result, I had to pay a small debt to this Gideon fellow who arranged the carriages, and as such, I had paid my debt to said Gideon by accepting one of his jobs, which is to help escort a different carriage. Seems to be a pattern. From outside the waste.
At the,
Lo and behold, I met these two.
at the sound of the name Gideon, Supriya immediately looks up over to Alden, who has not left the room, and she looks, nods at him, and he leaves the room. She goes,
The
"I am familiar." Yes.
I would like to cast a spell
Okay.
with subtle spell.
What spell are you casting?
Detect
Burning
thoughts.
Hands. Detect thoughts. Okay.
I'm not probing people. This is surface thoughts.
What the fuck?
Okay, just surface thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
You hear Supriya when she looks over to Alden. You hear her in her head. "Do your best to locate him immediately. Take him without bloodshed." And Alden says, "Yes, my lady," before leaving.
Okay.
No, she's not. She's a sorcerer. Get your facts straight.
You're a wizard too? Are you thinking? Do you hear my thoughts?
You're not sure what kind of communication that they have, whether it be innate or some sort of item, but you did with detect thoughts did overhear their inner conversation.
Mm-hmm. And detect thoughts. I don't know why it says probe deeper. I think I clicked on the wrong thing. But it should just say, like, surface thoughts. It should last for 10 minutes, if I recall.
Okay.
I'll just tail end with that. That's supposedly a long pause, or a short pause. Be like, I hope you're not intruding in the city. Just by us being here.
Of course not. You have no prior fault with the city. So,
That's good. I just remember
to our
passing out and
newcomers,
then ended up in a hospital.
This is the last thing I would want.
well, you seemed very capable out there. You handled yourself very well from all the reports that I had. You may be of use to the city. Please enjoy all this food that has been prepared for you. I will be back momentarily.
Greatly appreciate your hospitality. Thank you so much.
She nods. She gets up. You hear in her head, that scoundrel is back in the city. Who knows who he's taken with him this time? Got to get to the bottom of this.
Hey, Rip.
Was there any outward shift in body language or tone or mood?
Roll an insight check.
All right. Katya's looking for an excuse to bring up Gideon a second time. So, okay.
There it is.
May night.
I'm not hooked up to the computer anymore, so I was like, what is happening? I didn't
Well,
I didn't get the um so with an 18, when you first mentioned the name Gideon, excuse me, you saw her pupils dilate a little bit and ever so slightly shifting her shoulders, as if all of a sudden she was uncomfortable in her seat.
I'll just put my head to my chest and say, "I'm sorry, Madame. I hope, Madame Pradit, I hope we didn't make you uncomfortable with anything we've mentioned before. Did we say something wrong?"
She goes, not anything on your.
Is it not anything unusual?
What's that?
Is it not anything unusual?
Not anything on your part.
Okay.
Is what she said.
I do hope that the other parties don't get punished for anything that we inadvertently didn't do or did. Not sure. The last thing I would want to do is leave them stained in the city. This well-kept, beautiful melting pot.
She gives you a slight smile. You hear in her head, they really do not know what they are getting into. And she goes, your
Before she.
intentions are
Oh.
well. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Your intentions are well meaning. I do not sense any malevolence from you.
There is none to sense.
Please excuse me.
Give her a slight
I
smile.
will be right back.
A slight smile and a head nod.
Enjoy the food, please. It was expensive. And she
Thank you.
walks out of the room.
Thank you so very,
I
very
wanted.
much. and I'll poke into each one of their heads, and you guys will hear like as she intrudes in your heads, a slight staticky noise, but not really. It's like background noise, like TV snow. Like, she does not like Gideon at all. He seems to have a bit of a history in the city. Whether or not she's worried for us, which I don't think she should be. We're nobodies, in a way. But regardless, she does not take kind to this name. Maybe if we bring him up a little more, she might open up.
I was curious, DM, if I could retroactively do an insight check on her when I mentioned the orcs brandishing the symbol of a shepherd's hook, uh, going through the thing. Like, how did she react to that? Like, was something she aware of, or
Go ahead and roll that insight check.
a dirty 20?
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
Nice.
Okay. You got the sense that she may or may not have been. How do I put this? There was some recognition in her face, whether or not she recognizes the symbol or what. There was a little bit of recognition in her face.
Okay.
She seemed to be more concerned with the fact that raiders were this close to the city than she was with the symbol itself, but there was a little bit of recognition.
Okay.
But in front of you guys, you have a veritable spread. You have basically an entire meal laid out in front of you. Um, there are little bowls of caviar with little caviar spoons, with crackers and cheeses with them. You see, uh, along with that, you see what looks like foie gras. You see, um, there's a large pot of some sort of stew in the middle of the table. And just a quick like ladle sift. There are potatoes and carrots. It's incredibly fragrant. You see like flecks of spices in this kind of rust colored broth, with just a little bit of like separation of oil in there, lumps of some sort of red meat, um, and there is a fairly large bowl of rice on either side of this central pot. There seems to be uh, fruits and vegetables, um, stuff that you wouldn't necessarily see in a Badland section or a desert or really anywhere close. A lot of tropical fruits, mangoes, papayas. Um, you see flatbreads all over the place. Just these plates with a pile of like 6 or 7 flatbreads. It is a very much a take however much you're going to eat, and then if you're, still hungry, take a little bit more. Everything's freestyle.
That's nice.
Very. Second question, TM. Are there guards here? Are we
No,
being
nobody's
like?
in the room
There's
for
no
you
one in
guys.
the room. Okay. And with detect thoughts, I'm
There
not
is-
detecting anyone else.
You're not detecting anybody else.
Is there any like?
Which either means.
Was it?
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Ben.
Which either means that she's incredibly stupid, or she has security measures in place that she can trust strangers in her office without fear of losing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Is there any like anything readable in this room? Like, is there like any documents or like pictures on the wall or like anything?
Yes, actually. There are a number of things. Excuse me. Just shifting around. Number of things.
Okay.
You
Anything that
see,
looks
that on the far wall, the wall on the other side of the door from when you came in, there is a huge mural that looks like it depicts some jungle city. And upon closer inspection, it actually looks like it is not only painted on the wall, but also sculpted into the wall a little bit. There's actual like 3 dimension to these enormous trees and buildings and such. They're on the wall behind you, the wall with the door. You see a number of portraits. Most of them are Pachyderm. Some of them are human, elven. Some of them include what looks like Supriya in them. And then some of them are a little bit more bare bones. Some of them look like prior business associates, maybe. You're not quite sure, but basically you guys are eating this wonderful food right in front of this beautiful textured painting of again this jungle city, this multi-tiered jungle city that seems like it's built probably like on a hill in the middle of the jungle. But you can see like there are some buildings that are built into the trees itself. Some of the trees are big enough to have multiple homes kind of built into them. And yeah, and then one wall is blank. The wall to your right. The wall to your left is made of windows so that she can oversee her operations. But yeah, there's it's pretty in here. There's also the ceiling above you is entirely skylight.
okay. Is there any like documents or any kind of writing around?
You don't really see. I mean, some of the portraits have plaques underneath with some sort of name. Her desk is completely clear. There is an inkwell and a quill, but no paperwork whatsoever. She does have multiple drawers in her desk, but not enough to really. Ugh, excuse me. You know, it looks like one of those desks from the 1920s or in like late Victorian era into the 1920s, where it has like it's one desk, like a normal sized desk, but somehow it has 20 drawers in it. It kind of looks like that. It kind of looks like an old drafting table or office desk. It's beautifully made. This dark reddish wood, um, very beautifully sculpted, beautifully crafted. Um, but no paperwork.
Okay.
Katya will definitely partake in the food, little by
Now,
little,
I will eat.
as you two men engorge. Katya will eat little by little, bite-sized pieces, and savor every caviar bite ever, and foie gras, and yamane iberico, and whatever fancy shit there is. And her
Yeah,
eyes will
the
absolutely glaze over.
the stew in the middle is definitely some sort of curry. Um,
No, too spicy.
it's it's not terribly spicy. Um, it's very fragrant. It's very tangy is the word I'm looking for. Um, there appear to be little like chunks of tomato in it too. Um, from the very limited amount of time that you guys have been in respite, you can tell that probably a significant portion of this meal has been imported.
Well, sure. There
But
wouldn't
you
really
guys,
be there wouldn't really
you
be
guys,
any sturgeons inland to
yeah,
farm caviar from.
I will poke at the dish holding the caviar, and I go, what is this?
These are the
Fish eggs.
highest quality fish eggs, and the taste is delectable. There is nothing like it, and I forever miss this.
Fish eggs.
Fish eggs.
Yep.
Eggs from a specific fish called a sturgeon. They must live in very specific environments, and the climate has to be just right. And thus, these eggs are very much coveted. At least where I'm from. It is possible that it is different here.
With that same index finger, I will slowly. You just hear like the dish, like moving across the table, and I'm just moving it away from me. And I'll just look for any kind of bread. I'll notice the pita bread, and I go, something's familiar I'm with. And I'll find any kind of like spread, like if there's like honey or like uh, any spread to go with the pita bread, I'll get that and put that on the bread and just start eating on it slowly.
yeah.
Bread and
There's
honey.
honey. There's honey. There appears to be some sort of like a yogurt spread as well.
Ooh.
And then there's also what appears
Please say the word. Please say the word. Please say the word.
like some sort of cucumber based yogurt spread.
Ooh,
Interesting.
yes. I'd grab that. And I do it kind of like a New York bagel, like more spread than bread.
Yep. Yep.
Guys will use some pita bread for just a little bit of a taste of everything, but will primarily eat caviar and foie gras.
I just try everything. Why not?
Yeah.
Not all at once, please.
What?
Not all at once on the same plate, please. Little by little.
Yeah, I
Don't
mean,
don't ruin your palate.
I'll, God. I'll like, I'll very awkwardly go to Absalom. Like, I'm like physically move, but like tilt over. I'm like, Absalom. And I'm not trying to be discreet about it. Are you okay with people eating fish in front of you?
in this response, I grab a fish egg and I eat it.
And I'll give the most devastated look. I'm like, oh my god.
Your savagery is commendable. I will never eat elf eggs.
Did you just say I'll never eat elf eggs? Do
Yes.
elves come from eggs?
That was a joke. Can you not tell that was a joke? And she says very
You see
flatly.
that just the most serious, yeah, the most serious face.
Her expression has not changed.
I see. Well, Nocturne, that I guess that is the question there is I guess that's your answer.
I see. Thank you for giving me an answer.
Got this
Maybe
absolutely
it's,
lost in the sauce.
If you have to consider us more fish than man, then I guess we'd be more on the lines of like sharks. Like we can eat other fish.
Your savagery is commendable.
It is what it is.
And I'm like, start
Before
looking
long.
under. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Before long, she does come back, and she says, "Please pardon the sudden interruption. How are you finding the meat?"
Good.
Flavors I have not tasted in many years. Thank you.
She smiles, genuinely.
Your curry is a little spicy for my palate, but it is what it is. It's probably not spicy at all, but
It's like just below Tabasco. But she nods, and she sits back down, takes herself up a plate, starts to pull some of the flatbread, pull it apart, use it to basically as a utensil. and starts to kind of eat everything. Um, but she says, "So, what do you think of the city so far?"
I'll let the others answer.
It's very windy.
I've only been awake, or rather, awake, conscious in the city for about a day or two. It is fine. Can't really make a judgment based on that. I've been in the hospital.
Fortunately, I can say the same for myself. It's only been about a week. However, it's different than what I'm used to. It's very, very diverse. I see all sorts of types of people commingling, coexisting. Just a bit culturally jarring, but still commendable to you as the city leader, supposedly, for keeping the peace.
She kind of sighs a little bit, chews her food, and says, "It is not a self-appointed role.
What was that last thing you said? I'm sorry.
Self-appointed role."
Oh, okay.
She goes, "I take care of my employees, and I take care of this city, and people like that. So they often look to me for decisions. I, how do I word this? I advise the city as opposed to running it.
But still, you're the one in charge of allocating funds, supposedly, and helping the city, helping the people here. To which I do not see any infighting, not too much. I don't see wars breaking out, I don't see dissent. There seems to be harmony. So whatever it is you're doing it very well. Not to say everything is perfect, nothing is perfect, of course.
I will I will well, I did want to ask you of the certain factions, as well, we all are new around here, and these orcs that attacked us with this symbol, do you know of them?
I am aware of the orcs that routinely attack trade caravans and the towns to the south and to the west. I am aware of them.
You do not hold dominion over
The
them.
symbol, I do not. I owe my allegiance and my heart to respect. This is my city. This is my home. The other ones, not so much.
There once.
The other cities.
If it is of any concern, currently Freeport is uh, been occupied by bandits.
I have heard that. I am. That is a little bit more concerning to me because Freeport is a trade hub. A lot of our goods come through Freeport. So to have it under control of the Sisterhood of Dodo Chicks has been weighing on my mind.
Oh, is that who they are?
Yes. Let me write that down in chat.
If I remember correctly, that was the order, that adherence thing. That was the separation of them. I think.
Yeah, that was the. Was that not the order that originally ran the city, but then were overrun by cultists? Yeah.
What?
That was the original order that was overran by cultists, right? Or
The
were they
original.
the people that hold dominion over Freeport? Just like the faction, I guess.
Oh,
Or the
no.
sisters, the actual cultists.
The Sisterhood is the
They're the
cultist.
cultists.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yes.
the Sisterhood is the cult.
Yes.
Dum-dum. That took over
Yeah.
Freeport. Okay.
Yes. They took over. It's bad news.
Why are we whispering, Absalom?
I don't know. But
I
yes.
was trying to whisper to my partner to take a look, but it's fine.
Yes.
They were lost in the sauce on TikTok. Anyway, go on.
Oof. I fled from Freeport. And then ended up here into a hospital. Thankfully, I'm not in debt.
Whatever
Well,
that you were
she's-
in has been paid for by the job. we
Yes,
took.
it was.
Don't say that in front of the leader of the bench. You're like, where's my medical bills?
No,
Yeah,
they've been paid for. They've been paid for.
Okay. Tiamat.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They are worshippers of Tiamat. And they all ride dragons. Bad news.
Interesting.
Not dragons. Excuse me, not dragons. I gotta be specific about that.
Wyverns.
I gotta be specific about that. Don't wanna cause any mass panic with NPCs.
I mean, she mentioned them, so she knew.
Yeah, but still, it's about the.
You said- You said that you worry of them.
Yeah, they didn't seem like they wanted to be there.
I meant Pradeep.
Oh,
One more time.
I said, you said that you worry about them?
I do. Freeport, we have trade that goes through Freeport. So the Sisterhood growing bold and taking the town is very concerning. Very concerning.
Well,
This seems like a recent takeover. I wonder what spurred it.
My contacts in the Rangers have been working on that for a while now. And I am hoping that they come to a conclusion quickly.
you said that you may have use of us.
Yes, he- from everything that I have heard of, you seem to be capable when it comes to combat. That is very needed around here. I may have some use for you. Now, I will be watching you very carefully. You seem like genuinely good people that do not wish harm upon others. However, if that changes, I will know, and you will be promptly escorted out of the city.
you know.
Fair enough.
Okay. I'm afraid I have some business to attend to. When you are done eating, just exit the door, go out the way that Amelia gave to you, and feel free to stop by anytime.
We are most appreciated. The last thing we want to do is impose. However, we may help, we shall. Isn't that right, boys?
Yeah. I think I understood what you said. Sorry, I'm still half asleep.
This Urgog, will he be a issue for us?
You should not. If he is, let me know. He
Is it
is. He means well. His methods and he is under a lot of stress from people who do not see what he sees.
That's fair. Is there a way where we can have some kind of, document or a letter with your symbol on it to know that we are allowed back here, as you say, and that we are okay to be in the city?
She kind of cocks her head a little bit and says, I will draft up a document for you all to sign. I will sign it as well. I'll have Alden give it to you when I am done.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, if you will please excuse. And she gets up and she walks out the door.
Well, hopefully this garnered favor. You have provided some information.
Yes.
And let us hope
Where do we
that
go
they,
from here?
Well, I have things in mind. Personally speaking, I have things in mind. I would like to tinker with a few things with some of the tools that I bought. And I would like to dissect the type of magic that was used for those weapons used against us. And I'll be doing so in the library. It is entirely up to you if you want to join me and possibly do some research, take a look. I have some work to do.
Yes. I can join you at the library.
I too wish to read.
And read you shall. You need anything specific, I will help you locate it. And you notice that anytime we're in public spots, mostly public spots, the cat is, her cat is not with her. And then we just, as we leave, like she's kind of like, doesn't just magically appear, just kind of like out of the periphery, just kind of like follows along.
That's pretty
Anytime-
cool.
It does what it wants.
Is that a familiar or?
It's a cat.
This is my cat. Her name
Yes,
is
but-
Kisya.
Kisu?
Sure.
What? What?
Her name is Kisya.
Oh, I thought it was queso.
Incorrect.
You have to spell that one for me.
Mr. Cheese, are you all right?
Hesia. Okay.
My hyphen doesn't want to work.
Is that a magical creature? What?
Just a cat.
Aren't all cats magical?
What?
Unprompted. I said, aren't all cats magical? And unprompted, the cat will, like, hop up from standing to her shoulders. Just kind of, like, splay herself across from, like a scarf.
Do I sense any kind of magic coming from the cat? Like, is it familiar or?
Roll an Arcana check. Weird cat, man.
It's just a cat.
Like, if we're getting up and walking, then I assume we got up and walked, unless we
Yeah.
have anything else to do here.
Yeah,
I
as
assume
soon
we're already
as you
walking.
guys are finished with your food, yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'll keep note of everything that's inside the house, palace, factory. Then when we leave, that's when my cat jumps on my shoulders. And again, this is an Oriental short hair, so she's like just a long cat, not necessarily big, just like long and lanky with like a rat tail. By all intents and purposes, like a weird looking cat, but cat nonetheless. And if you stare at it too long, then she'll like a third eye will open up and then just look at you.
Oh,
All right. You guys finish your food and head out. You leave Madame Pradeep's factory and head back towards the Ereveth Athenium.
Time to read. I'm
Time.
gonna find all the picture books of dragons.
the picture books.
I suppose any info on like Tiamat and stuff like that.
What's that?
I suppose if Absalom wants to look up stuff on like Tiamat and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. What if the big thing was a big dragon? There's a lot of openness to where I can research.
Well, you guys get back to the Athenium. Head down to the third floor again. Go ahead. Each of you roll me an investigation check.
Investigation?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, nat 20.
Damn, 23. Nice.
I got a 5.
Okay. So, as Nocturne and Absalom start looking around, you're finding more
Dragons.
More
you guys are
dragons.
finding books on pretty much anything but what you're looking for.
Don't know why you're looking over there. It's over here.
Yeah. However, Cassia finds everything you guys are looking for. So as you guys come back to the main table where oh, okay, excuse me. Where Torgir is slumped over asleep um,
Of
in
course
one
he
of the
is.
chairs. You bring the books over, all meet up, and all start to sift through.
Well, I'll help them
So,
sift through, but I'll want to do the thing that I worked on, try and possibly refit the braces of defense to like anklets of defense because they would look garish over gloves.
yeah. Um,
Yeah.
so, in that case,
There's like pile of books in front of me. Like, go ahead, get to reading. Whatever you need, I will help, but give me a moment. I have tinker's tools. I have smithing tools. What else do I have?
so
Jeweler's tools.
are you proficient in those tools?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to have you, because you are altering a magic item,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have you make an arcana check and add your proficiency modifier to it using those tools. Or add your proficiency modifier to it again if you're already proficient in it.
All right, so expertise. Gotcha. Because I'm already proficient in Arcana. So,
Cool.
what is our proficiency? Is it +2?
Should be.
Yeah, it's +2.
All right. Woohoo!
Okay. You begin a process that takes about an hour. But you are able to trim the bracers down to size without voiding the enchantment. During that hour, have shown the Nocturne. There are numerous books about dragons, ancient tomes. You learn about everything from wormlings, where a dragon is just hatched from the egg, all the way to something called a great worm, uh, not capitalized, which is basically an ancient dragon that has almost become more of an more elemental than dragon. Um, very, very, very few have ever been recorded throughout history. But then you read about the great worms, great worms being capitalized and separated by a space. Basically, from the tomes that you read, uh, dragons are not native to the material plane of existence. They came here from somewhere else, in the form of a enormous, for all intents and purposes, aberration named Midgard Solmer. This this serpent from the sky, from space, uh, came before the first age of the world. Um, Before long, the gods and Midgard Solmer determined that he was kind of an asset. And so he created a number of beings in his image, whereas the gods had created mortals and celestials in their image. Midgard Solmer created creatures in his image, his own version of the celestials, extensions of his will. Um, each of them representing one of the facets of reality. Tiamat represented fire. He represented pain, consumption, and destruction, all as necessary parts of life.
So change, consumption, and what?
And destruction. Let me write that down.
Mm-hmm. This is Midgard Sormer representing them, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. It would be really funny if these TikToks came through on stream.
Mm-hmm. So, you keep on reading. One of the other great works was in the early battles for the material plane against the forces of the Unmaker, the antithesis of the Maker, the great creator god that created the gods, and created the material plane. This dragon, this great worm, Nidhogg, was corrupted by this. And from later accounts, that corruption was exacerbated by the whispers of Tiamat. So Nidhogg, which I will write down here.
Said battle you're referring to came from the first age as well, yeah?
This was before the first age. This was in an era known as the Beginning. Nidhogg was the great worm of darkness and death. Nidhogg betrayed and slew Midgard Solmer. Which inevitably led to a massive hole in the defenses of the material plane. Once the first age started, the dragons, now led by Bahamut, the great worm of light, they entered an alliance with the Celestials to defend the realm. Nidhogg was banished to a plane now known as the Abyss. It was basically a prison created for Nidhogg. Among others. But Bahamut, taking this job very, very seriously, this alliance very, very seriously, decided to create beings reminiscent of himself, create beings in his own image. Tiamat and Sardior, who was another great worm, the great worm of the soul, decided to make dragons in their own image. Tiamat made her dragons representative of the elements of the world. Sardior made his dragons reminiscent of the precious gems that were scattered through the earth. And Bahamut made his dragons reminiscent of the ores of the world, the metal, with basically signifying his adamant resolve to keep this promise and defend this plane. For the first half of the first age, the dragons basically kind of ruled over mortals. All the sections of the world basically had some sort of dragon that would protect that region. They kind of broke it up, almost like the Altran program. You know, there would be a dragon in every city. There would be a dragon in every region. Before long, a lot of mortals started worshiping these dragons and paying homage to these dragons, seeing them as either protectors or more present gods. The chromatic dragons really liked this. The metallic, not so much, and the gem dragons not so much. But it was basically determined by the chromatic dragons and by Tiamat that why should the gods still have dominion over the material plane when the dragons are running the show? So Tiamat betrayed the gods, betrayed the celestials, and began to slaughter celestials left and right in an effort to maintain dominion over the material plane. Bahamut immediately honoring his oath, his word being paramount, Bahamut immediately moved to counter this, and it broke out into a war that consumed the first half of the First Age. Sardior, wanting to remain neutral, took the vast majority of his dragons and left the material plane, basically determining it to be a lost cause, because if something so pure as the dragons could be corrupted and turned at each other's throats, it wasn't worth being present for. So he and his dragons left. Now, there were 3 other dragons, 3 other great worms in this time. There was Hraesvelgr, the great worm of air, and the great worm of sky, wind, thunderstorms. Hraesvelgr was on Bahamut's side. There was Behemoth, who was the great worm of earth, who refused to take part in the conflict. While Hraesvelgr immediately rushed to his brother's side, Behemoth, who had always been a little bit closer to Tiamat, decided he didn't want any part of it and burrowed deep into the earth to slumber until his siblings would stop fighting. There was one more. One more great worm, the great worm of water, who was so distraught over the loss of her father, and so distraught over the loss of her brother, the imprisonment over her brother, and so distraught over the now infighting of her siblings, the loss seemingly of Sardior, and the retreat of Behemoth, that the great worm of water, Leviathan, fled to the depths of the seas, and legend has it, when she fled, her tears were so many that the seas became salty. And humanity or mortals could no longer drink the water of the seas without dire consequences. Now, no one really knows where Leviathan went. However, the book does describe that the natives of the Archesis archipelago worship a deity, a demigod that they refer to as Rowiatana. And Rowiatana is described as a colossal serpent that resides in the archipelago and sent her children, the guardian serpents, made in her image, to guard the area. Now, it is unclear whether or not this Rowiatana is in fact Leviathan. But you did in fact, Absalom, in your dreams, see a colossal serpent.
All of us collectively?
No, just Absalom.
Oh, okay.
Absalom saw in his dreams
Big
a
snake.
massive, a big snake,
Big water snake.
Big
a sea snake.
Was it a garden snake? A water snake?
Flying snake?
The snake
Trouser
got
snake.
wings?
Sorry.
Is it a Quetzalcoatl? Maybe it's a lobster snake.
Oh, okay.
Click to react.
I don't know what just happened. Other than the fact that I wrote that, I wrote all of that into a DM and not into the group chat. Like I had.
Oh, I thought change, consumption, and destruction was Midgard's armor. Okay.
No, that was Tiamat. Because she was fire, fire consumes, fire destroys, and fire changes. Now, that being said, one could argue that it was Midgardsormr's fault for creating a dragon of death and a dragon of destruction. But he meant well.
And I guess once Katya's done, she'll get up and be like, so, how goes the reading?
I read.
It's going good. Dragons.
Good to get the general sense of lore in the place we're living.
Yes.
Yes, hello, motion. So, you read all about these great worms. You know also from the book that Bahamut, because of his staunch defense of mortals and generally being the good guy, and also defeating Tiamat, essentially got demigod status. A number of people worship Bahamut in addition to the gods, and subsequently, many knights, because of how noble Bahamut is, and because he honored his word to the gods and his promise to defend mortals. A lot of knights and other chivalric figures will worship Bahamut and pray to Bahamut that they too can be honorable, that they too can represent nobility. Tiamat is worshipped by people who generally seek power and seek the ability to destroy their enemies.
I will go to look at Kachi and let's say, do you have any books of ancient illnesses?
What do you mean by ancient illnesses?
He's got a chronic urge of cranking it.
Brother. Illnesses of old times that still haven't been, how do I put it? No cure has been found, no solution to these illnesses or how they came to be.
Well, it sounds like if these illnesses are ancient and have been wiped out, it seems like the cure is death. But if you're looking for records of said illnesses, it's possible. You can possibly find some medical records of ancient times. How ancient are we talking?
As ancient as creation.
It's up to the DRM to see if this dinky little library has that.
But if I could help.
It is a 10-story library. Go ahead. Katya, roll an investigation check with advantage as Nocturne is providing the help action.
Alrighty. Let's press that advantage button.
Oh, is there an advantage button?
Yeah, all the way up top.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's a toggle.
Hey, let's get into the next
23.
Wowzers.
Cool.
Yeah, well, I'll get my nat 20s out of the way now before
Um,
combat.
Yep, there we go.
We're not going to have combat this session. Get real.
You don't know.
I don't know. That depends on you guys.
Who comes to the library to start a fight?
Gideon,
Oh, did he start a fight?
kind of. Bitch fucking knocked over a bunch of, what'd you say? A bunch of relics? bunch of bookshelves.
Probably just tripping a
Maybe
banana peel or something.
probably.
There was someone left their game of Mario Kart open. It was just all bad news bears.
With a 23, it's not on this floor, but you do find a tome that has most of the recorded diseases and plagues and maladies in recorded history. Most.
Oh,
You read about a number of illnesses, anywhere from the sniffles to basically the Red Death is what it translates to from Elvish, where it was this engineered disease, a biological weapon from the First Age that once you contracted the disease, within 12 hours, you basically bled out of every orifice in your body until you had no blood left. And even after death, you would still continue to bleed until your body was dry.
Any cause, any cure?
No cure other than quickly getting the fuck away from whoever had contracted it. It was very, very rarely used because those who designed it quickly realized, oh, this is going to get out of hand real quick, and then basically may or may not have firebombed the city where it was introduced. I know it's so hard being a cat. So yeah, you have basically everything in between that. You have diseases where people very slowly fade out of life. They fade into becoming a wraith. You have diseases where you have dysentery, you have all sorts of stuff. Are you looking for anyone in particular?
One that I'm very familiar with.
Gotcha.
Cranking it.
Brother. Yeah, I figure you would know the symptoms. I don't know how fast it took. If there are ones in different languages, I would look at them too. But I would say I'm looking for an illness that took my mother, and I don't know the cause of it.
I'm sorry for your loss. How long ago was this?
I'd say not that long.
Any symptoms? What was the duration?
Well, I'd say it was pretty quick. She didn't have long to live. She was just very weak, fragile, soulless almost. You might know of her work. She was I don't know if she took the last name as well. DM.
What?
I don't know I don't I don't know if the how it works in D&D with like the last names, but I would just say like my mom was a very famous poet. Um,
Yeah, I'd imagine Quill would be an excellent last name for a poet.
yeah, but it took her
you
suddenly.
do find. Go ahead.
Well,
No, you go ahead.
You do find a number of diseases that are very fast acting. Um, oh, and the bunny kicks. Okay.
I hate that disease.
So
That one's very contagious.
yes,
Bye, Crystal.
you do find a number of diseases that act very quickly. Um, there's one known as flame lung that basically it doesn't necessarily match what your mother had, but basically it's an elemental disease where the lungs almost start catching fire. Um, not very fun. There's one called the Pale Fade. Okay, you're overreacting.
Hmm.
The Pale Fade um, is very much a kind of disease where the person who catches it starts to become very, very pale. They lose a lot of the color in their face, in their skin, their fingernails, their hair, even their eyes, and they become very, very, very weak, almost as if their life force is being sapped by something.
Okay.
No, I do not have
Studies
this disease.
show that the pale fade is a significant loss in ether.
They get the ether sucked out of them.
Okay. All right. I will start writing in my book, and then I'll close it, and it disappears. And I will look back at Absalom and Katya and say, well, what is our next step?
Well, I once again have a few projects I need to do. I would mainly like to, and I'll just pull out from my bag of holding. I think it was a hatchet or a scimitar or something like that I got from the wastes from the pile of dead orcs. So I would like to discern this. See what kind of magic this is. Give me a bit of an insight as to these orcs.
Alright. Roll an Arcana check.
Alrighty.
And I insist.
Yeah.
You wish to help? Okay.
Absolutely.
Alright. What exactly are you trying to accomplish again?
Well, these are, you said before, among the piles of orcs. They had these scimitars with the, there was like a purple rhombus with the
Oh yeah,
shepherd's
yeah,
hook,
yeah.
and they had a
So
special property. So
you get into arcane runes and symbology. There are a number of runes that use geometric shapes, that use different letters of different alphabets. You don't necessarily find any arcane runes that use a shepherd's hook, but you do find some symbolism therein. Usually, a shepherd's hook is used in coat of arms or sigils where the bearer of the sign is viewed or views themselves as a shepherd, as someone who is forging a path, who is lighting the way. A rhombus is used in all sorts of glyphs and runes, basically because it's a very symmetrical shape. It's incredibly symmetrical. So based on what you can find, a shepherd's hook inside a rhombus could potentially mean something along the lines of leading someone to perfection or to a higher state. But without knowing who created the symbol and created these gifts, you won't know for sure. It could just be that they thought it was cool looking.
okay. On top of this, am I able to discern what kind of enchantment this is on this weapon?
Yes.
Yep.
So this weapon in particular, it's a transmutation spell. It is designed to change the properties of the physical properties of the weapon, and alter it as needed. This one is very similar to the axe that was pried out of your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the properties of this weapon are to deal as much damage as possible. Upon insertion into a living being, and basically, as the weapon is dragged out, the weapon transmutes, and the shape of the weapon changes to form jagged edges and barbs to do as much damage pulling out as going in. So, what this means is that these weapons that you've dealt with, the one that you're currently holding, and ones that you experienced the day prior, are enchanted to basically, from a DD standpoint, when you attack with a weapon, you can choose to leave the weapon in the target, and when the weapon is removed, you roll that weapon damage die again.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had like a hatchet and you attacked somebody, or yeah, a hatchet, and you attack somebody, basically, if you wanted to sacrifice your movement or sacrifice another attack, you could leave that in the target and then use either another attack action, or if the target pulls away from you or what have you. Basically, the weapon changes inside to tear out chunks, and you would re-roll your damage die.
Reroll. Okay. Or just add
Yep.
another damage die on top.
Well, add another damage die, basically. So, let's say I attack you, it hits, and then I have multi-attack. I use my second attack to pull it out, and it basically hits again. It's a guaranteed hit. You don't have to roll to hit, because all you're doing is drawing your weapon out of somebody's chest cavity.
And that costs a second attack. Gotcha.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. That'll give me ideas. And if possible, I'd like to, for my own research, look for any kind of, not armory, but just like any kind of knowledge on general, like enchanted weapons, what kind of properties can be bestowed on weapons and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah. To lay the foundations of possibly crafting.
I would imagine that you've already looked up books regarding that,
Mhm.
and they're pretty much
feel like-
already on the table.
I feel like before the first combat, I would have started hard researching on like the moon and stuff like that and my own personal problems, like the reason why I came here.
Gotcha.
But ever since that battle, I feel like I would want to start researching how to better prepare and better equip, and possibly use my skill sets to, well, start crafting, whether it be weapons or armor or like accessories and stuff like that. Just pretty much lay that foundation. So however you want to do that.
Yeah, I'll have you roll another investigation check for that.
Sure.
If that would be the case.
Okay. Pew. Yeah, it's a library.
It is a library. There are a lot of books. And there are 10
Right.
floors of a lot of books.
That's right. And everything's fun if you got a library card.
I'll look into creating a library card, don't worry.
But yeah, you don't necessarily find the book you're looking for. You basically, when you're looking, you find a book, but it's basically smithing for dummies.
I should clarify, Ben.
Uh,
As one of my racial attributes is every long rest I can change my proficiency, so I can be proficient in whatever I want.
yes,
Two of my
which is
proficiencies,
very
I should say.
upsetting. Uh-huh.
Nothing I find here. I'm gonna have to look elsewhere.
Well,
Alrighty.
you did say there was that temple in the desert, correct?
This is correct. This is ultimately where I might be able to find some answers for my dreams, and maybe they have some insight on how and why the moon came to be here.
I guess to say, where's the next step we can go to? Well, well, she wanted work for us here. We can go to Freeport and investigate more of these sister cultists, or go to the desert.
I have a feeling if we go in there blindly, we would get immediately killed. If the sisterhood has already taken over Freeport, and if they worship Tiamat, and if Tiamat is anything that we are seeing in these books, then what we are researching, then I'm pretty sure that's where we'll meet our demise. Unless we have some kind of army with us, and I doubt. I'm only speaking from self-preservation. I feel like we're going to die the second we walk in. And that might be something we can take up with Mrs. Prajit. Or Gideon, who knows? If they haven't taken him away yet.
Sounds like they're gonna kick him out.
I don't know, but Prajit is not happy with him. And she ordered her little henchman to find him.
Well, I guess our next step would be to find Gideon then.
If they haven't found him first. But how would we even begin to look for him? Not even Moman knows where he is.
I guess the best place to find him would be to go to the last place we saw him, which was that moment.
I suppose so. Suppose we can go there. I'll quickly scribble a note for Thorgeir, telling him that we're going to be at Mormon's. Moments, not
He said
moments.
it on his Moments, not more. But yeah, you scribble a little note, set it on his chest as he's drooling on himself. Um, and then you guys head to Moments. Once you get there, you notice immediately that there are a couple people kind of waiting to go inside. Not necessarily in a line, but they're like peeking in and then taking a lap, peeking in, taking a lap. Usually not. You've only been here a few times, but not really the case. Typically, people just walk in or get thrown out or what have you. But
Can I discern their demeanor as people are looking through the window and
roll an insight check.
sure. WTF is going on? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man, you're going at it.
Don't worry. You're not gonna see this again in
Wait,
combat.
howdy. So, they look a little concerned. Not necessarily scared, but definitely like they're not looking to go in because something is going on inside that they don't want to be a part of.
And what happens when I look in?
You peek in to the establishment. You see a large armored individual standing about 6'7", 6'8". Familiar, as you just saw him earlier today. And even though it is starting to get dark outside, you do recognize Alden Brooker at the bar. Moman looks very unimpressed, but you can hear Alden saying, "We know he regularly comes here. We know he is a regular disturber of the peace. If you are found harboring said individual, then you, Kaya Momani, will be held accountable." Moman says,
The child support.
Moman says, held accountable? What, are you going to revoke my business license? That's not a good look. What does Madame Pradeep necessarily want with Gideon? I cannot say. I've been looking for him all day, have not seen him. I don't know the first place he would go, other than my establishment. You are welcome to search the premises, but I would appreciate some written consent from her, written instruction from Madame Pradeep prior to you searching my establishment. If I could get an official letter from her, that would be much more beneficial. As opposed to you just poking your head into my guests' chambers. So, again, he's not here. And while I appreciate your sense of justice, this is a private establishment. This is owned entirely by me. And without any sort of actual documentation, saying that you are here on behalf of Supriya Pradeep. I'm going to have to ask you to leave if you are not looking to buy anything. And when he says that, H comes out from the back, standing a full head and a half taller than Alden. Alden looks at H, looks at Momin, and says, "Very well. But if you are caught harboring him, there will be consequences. And not even your friend here will be able to save you." He turns around, walks past, and he goes, "Oh, and Toyamamani." And Momin says, "It's Momin." He goes, "My mistake." Don't let me find any correspondence between you and the Atroci Dominion when I do search here. You know how the adherents hate foreign collusion. Momin gives a big grin and he says, "You are a bastard. Have a good day." Alden comes out the door, walks right by you guys without acknowledging you, and then walks down the street.
Isn't that Dominion from
Yep.
the first campaign?
Second.
Ah,
Technically second, but also technically not. So the Kuramas were basically a group of individuals that fled the Atroci Dominion. So yes and no, but basically he's saying you're a hobgoblin. You know, if some sort of evidence saying that you're a foreign agent for a superpower that you're not necessarily a part of,
Continents away.
I happen to, not even continents, it's right there.
Oh, it's here?
Yeah, the Atroci Dominion is here. The Kuramas is what split off. So the Kuramas split off and then created a settlement on
Hiltos.
on Gradia.
Oh, Gradia. Okay.
Yeah. The Atroci Dominion is where they originated, but split off for various and sundry reasons a few decades back. But yeah, you guys aren't sure if Momin does have ties to the Atroci Dominion. He is a hobgoblin, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. But Alden seems kind of serious about this sort of thing.
Katya also has no idea what that is.
Correct. So Momin goes, "All right, everybody can come in. Just because you use my full name does not necessarily mean that you have to stay back here."
Was it just those two at the tavern? Like, was there no one else?
There were a few people inside, but they were all like they stopped eating, they stopped drinking, and just were watching this interaction. goes, come on, come on. H says, Momin, will he find any documentation of your affiliation with the Yoshoji Dominion? And Momin says, I'm from Altrazea. I don't even know those people. He goes, and if he knew anything, he'd know that my name itself is Altrazean. Everybody order something to drink, please. Distract me from this. Yes, you three again. How can I help you?
Can I get a water?
Black tea.
Orange juice, please.
I know these by heart by now. H, can you help these folks out? H says, certainly. Hello, folks, and then walks into the back to get you your beverages. Are you guys at the bar, or are you guys going to take your usual spot?
That's up to them.
I think it's just the usual spot.
Okay. I guess we'll do the usual.
All right, you guys sit down at the table. H brings out your drinks. And at this point, Momin kind of heads into the back for a little bit. Walks out after maybe a couple minutes. And Gideon's with him.
You saved me an adventure with my familiar.
Gideon looks over to you. He doesn't necessarily throw his hands up, but he kind of like raises his hands in greeting. And he says, so, how are you enjoying the city?
It is a city.
A bit too populated for my flavor, but it's okay.
Yes.
Better
Is-
than what I was before.
Gideon,
Gideon sits down with you.
what was in the carriage?
Again, I'm not at liberty to say. I've been paid handsomely so that carriage made it here in one piece and the cargo unspoiled. I shared some of that payment with you. Again, I'm not at liberty to say.
Now, forgive me, but what is it that was keeping you from both this carriage, the reconnaissance of this carriage, and as well as my own? From a week ago.
That is, and you hear a voice from the back of the bar saying, it's okay, Gideon. You can tell them. Coming from the curtain that separates the kitchens from the bar, you guys see a human man, middle-aged, a little bit of stubble on his face. He is wearing fairly simple traveling robes. He has a headdress that is basically a tightly wound wrap on the top of his head that's at the very end of the wrap. It kind of falls around the sides and back of his head. This purple headdress, this kind of very, very dark red, like burgundy almost, uh, thick, sturdy traveler's robes, and then it looks like like probably a tan tunic underneath. His skin is fairly dark, a little darker than typical olive, um, and he has very very dark eyebrows and very very dark eyes. And he comes in and he goes, "Please allow me to meet my saviors." I wanted to thank you all immensely for what you have done for me. My name is Gregor Highbrow, and I was in that carriage.
Oh,
Gregor Highbrow.
Gideon looks visibly upset at this. Not like sad, but severely disappointed and agitated.
So, you are the supposed hope that we have been tasked to save in the carriage.
Is that what people are saying about me?
So it seems. This guy looks ordinary, right?
Very, like,
Unassuming.
upsettingly normal.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
upsettingly normal.
Yeah.
Well,
Well.
Gideon, what has you so upset?
He goes, and then Gregor says, "Please allow me to explain. I have, I'm a businessman.
business.
I grew up in a respite. I have traveled around a lot since then, but I've wanted to set up roots in respite again. Now, when I left when I was younger, I did not necessarily leave on amicable terms with a number of people that were in the city. So, I hired Gideon, who I've known for quite some time, to smuggle me in. Now, I don't know who is saying that I'm Hope, but I hope to revitalize my home city a little bit. That would be nice.
What do you mean by revitalize?
Well, I don't know if you've noticed this, but my home is a little. It's doing well. It's doing well. In my absence, Madame Pradeep has done a very good job at in her charity work around the city. She has brought numerous jobs and a significant amount of social programs for the city. However, there are some unsavourable individuals still left in the city that I would like to circumnavigate and hope to do what Madame Pradeep has done. Mm, maybe some areas of the city that she has not done in.
So you're vying for political power.
Political is a very broad term.
And where might we go to avoid said unsavory individuals?
Unfortunately, nowadays, out of the city, but that involves a whole new set of problems.
If you don't mind me asking, how would you go about enacting this change?
Well, that is a good question. I could do a number of things. Use some of the wealth I brought in to buy failing businesses, revitalize them, invest in them so that they do better, and other businesses will do better, and the like. Uh, invest, yeah. I mean, invest in struggling businesses so, to revitalize the economy, and you know, the more money people are making, the more they spend. And the more they spend, the more the people bringing the goods and services into the city will bring more goods and services into the city. It's a win-win.
Why are you being smuggled in then if you are such a big person of sorts?
Again, when I left, there were some unsavory folks in the city that I did not get along well with, and I needed to make sure that those unsavory folks were no longer in the city before I made myself public.
Are they still here?
Gideon has been looking for them. He has not yet found them. They might have gone underground ever since the adherents moved into the city full time.
To recap, the adherents are the guys that were arguing with the Red Rangers, right?
Yeah, yeah. They're the ones that
They're like
their
the
main goal
police
is
force.
to, yeah, now.
Yeah.
Uh,
If
their
they're
original goal,
if they're the police force, then the Red Rangers are like the state troopers, right?
basically, basically. Although that is caused a lot of conflict because the adherents to equilibrium aren't supposed to be a police force. They're a group of people that have been trying to maintain the neutrality of the veil from external political entities. Um,
Right.
they have been for years uh, fighting against foreign influence and potential annexation from foreign powers. Uh, but just more recently, they have been used more so as a police force than their
Mm-hmm.
original intention, which is
Mm.
why so many people are
Overreach.
not really, yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of overreach. Which is probably
Right.
why Commander Ergon is so grumpy all the time.
Sure.
Man, going through stress. He's like, this job ain't paying me enough.
Basically.
Gregor Hybra. As why were the orcs after you? Do you know that symbol? And I will cast minor illusion and show that symbol if need be.
Gregor looks at it, looks at Gideon. Does this look familiar to you? Gideon says, never seen it. I've seen better. Gregor says, no, I'm sorry. I am not familiar with it.
Well, these orcs were trying to take the carriage and have their way with what was in there. And if you were in there, then they must have been tipped off.
I tipped off, or bandits that saw a carriage, a guarded carriage, and wanted to see what was inside. I hope they weren't tipped off. I hope they were just bandits being bandits. Who knows at this point?
Can I insight? Go ahead. Sure.
No.
Katya?
Go ahead, insight.
Can I insight on the fact that well, I'll ask this question instead. I'll say, well, if you are trying to be smuggled into a city, you will pick the most secure way and the most hidden way. I don't know if any random bandits would have found you randomly, so they must have been tipped off.
I guess
They were hired by the shadow government.
I was gonna say something similar, to be like, these orcs seemed much too organized and much too high in numbers to be simple bandits. There's more to this.
And from what you say, you are trying to avoid eyes and people that you had problems with. Forgive me, it's not that I don't trust you. I don't trust the fact that orc bandits are rallying up together and they seem to have targeted you, and for some reason they are under this symbol. Again, it's not that I don't trust you. I'm trying to find any leads on this.
It's definitely something that I will look into. I've kept my circle very small. This is it. Everyone's sitting at this table, plus Moment now, and H. No, we are the only ones that know I was in there. We were very careful. I paid Gideon very handsomely to be very careful.
So why did the guards that were guarding your carriage call you Hope? If you were being careful and you had such a small circle, why did they call it Hope?
He looks over to Gideon. He's like, "What did you tell them that was in the carriage?"
Literally nothing.
Well, he looked at Gideon.
Yeah.
Gideon said, I may have given the guards, the original guards that were a little unreceptive to payment, I may or may not have told them something along the lines of restoring power to the people of Respite and restoring power to the people of the Vale. I may or may not have very much improvised a story about how you were a magical artifact that would form a defensive barrier around the Vale and around each of the cities so that any evildoers could be dealt with and no more evildoers could be put here.
I could see why the pseudo mayor wants you kicked out of respite.
Supriya wants me kicked out. That's a little harsh. I'm a smuggler, not a murderer.
Well, I mean, if you were able to rouse a couple of guards with those words, them thinking they died for a good cause just for a guy, no offense.
You must be something very, very special. Someone so secretive that promises so much change. You must have deep. You must have deep influence of some kind.
However, now I know. When in doubt, throw Gideon under the bus.
Highbrow.
Apparently so.
Is that name Highbrow familiar? In any way?
Roll a history check.
He sent me on a mission that almost got me killed.
Oh,
Get in.
I said, oh.
Oh,
History check. You've never met Highbrow before.
Okay.
Yes, you have. Her name is Katya.
You've never met someone with the surname of Highbrow. Now you've traveled a good bit. He says that he moved away from respite. He did not mention where he moved. So it's very possible that any of the businesses that he started have been on different continents before coming back here.
Different continents. Okay. Now, why are you trusting us with this information?
Because we saved his life.
Well,
Yes,
saved my
but
life. Yes.
we could have gone another day without us knowing about him. What? Respectfully, I mean, what? I guess what I'm trying to say is, what can we do for you, Gregor Highbrow?
Well, you've already done everything that I've needed you to do. I do not really need anything more from you. Other than your discretion.
Your discretion is advised. I guess I'm
The
just
fewer
very
people
wary.
The fewer people that know I'm here, the better. So, if these unsavory characters do exist, then that can be dealt with accordingly. But ideally, they have moved on, and I will be allowed to start up business here.
What was the name of that halfling? Fuck.
Let's see,
I don't think I wrote him down.
wrote it down.
Nope. I did not.
I did not.
Little Doug Dimmadome motherfucker.
I don't know if owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
Yeah, the motherfucker that tried buying out the ladies' shop. What was her name? What was his name?
I don't know if you guys ever heard his name.
I swear he introduced us. He introduced himself, or at least like while they were talking, he's like, "I don't know about you. I don't want none of your business. I built this, building with my own hands."
No, I don't think he introduced himself to us.
All right, fair enough.
But I think she did mention the name, maybe.
She
Positive.
did name him, and his
Yeah,
name was Aberford.
Aberford. I'll just scroll back up.
Preferred.
He was a halfling, right?
Mhm.
Well, my only experience over here with outside influences trying to buy out businesses, there is a gentleman the name of Aberford, a halfling gentleman who seems to be keen on buying out certain shops out of their competition. And if I know anything about anything, that sounds like monopoly to me. So if you're a servant of the people, you can do something about this.
Aberford.
Does the name sound familiar to you?
Momin sets down a tankard in front of Gregor and says, Aberford Dwallow. He's a snake.
He seems
He's
as
been
such.
currently he's been buying up several. He hasn't approached me yet because I'm actually doing fairly well, but he's been buying up a lot of struggling businesses and sometimes revitalizing them under new ownership, or sometimes just shutting them down and reconstructing a new business in their stead. Usually one with his name on it. He has made a significant amount of money from struggling people. I've already instructed H to, if he does come in here, to promptly hurl him as hard as he can. So,
Not too difficult, I imagine.
H looks over, gives a thumbs up real quick, and then goes back to watching over the bar.
Well, Gideon. Well, I'll say, you said you had more jobs for us?
Potentially. I have a good amount of work pretty much wherever I go. Again, I'm a smuggler. Everybody needs something. Usually I'm the one who procures it for them. So, very potentially. Now, this job right here, smuggling Mr. Highbrow into respite, that has taken up a great deal of my time. However, there's always room for improvement. If I need to do anything regarding that, I can definitely give you some work in that regard. Gregor says, actually, I might have some work for you. This Mr. Dwallow, if he is monopolizing areas and making money off people who are hurting, Definitely seems like an unsavory fellow.
Are we gonna have to smuggle him out?
No, I hope not. Probably not. But he could definitely.
Hello?
Hold on, let me answer this text from
Okay.
work real quick. I do
Gotcha.
apologize.
All good.
You're good.
Right. Uh, Gregor says, Gideon, does Gorlo still work here? And Gideon says, Gorlo does still work here. He, Gregor turns to the rest of you. He goes, there is a businessman. He controls much of the importation and exportation from Respite. He he may know some things. I would like to, at the very least, set up a meet between him and Gideon to determine what's coming in, what's coming out, and maybe if there's any information on this Aberford fellow. Gideon says that may be troubling or troublesome. Gregor says, "Oh," and Gideon says, "The last time I saw Gorlo, he had a knife in my gut. So I might not be the one to send for that." So I don't know how skilled in negotiating the three of you are, but that might be something to consider. Just to protect your anonymity, Gregor. Gregor says, if the three of you wouldn't mind setting up some sort of contact with Gorlo, that'd be incredible. That would be very much appreciated. That would give me a foothold and potentially, you know, take this Aberford fellow down a peg.
Sounds good to me.
Right. So we're not smuggling his remains. Understood.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Gideon says, I will have to warn you. Gorlo is. He controls most of the import and export into Respite. Most of all of the import and export. Madame Pradeep has been trying to get dirt on him for a long, long time because it's an unknown known, or a known unknown that most of the illicit substances and materials, weapons, people, a lot of them are imported through Gorlo. I am a humble smuggler. Gorlo smuggles everything, but he just determines how much of it you know he smuggles.
So forgive me, but if I'm understanding this correctly, you want us to speak with and set up a meeting between you and Gorlo. Solely because if you were to begin establishing a business here, he would not, how they say, muscle you out.
Yes, and in the meantime, if we can use Gorlo to start muscling people like Aberford out, that'd be good.
Fair enough.
Basically, to stop this predator, we need dirt on him. Gorlo might have some dirt, but Gorlo is a good friend to have. A little bit of a hothead, but a good friend to have.
How would you prefer that you to be contacted? Do you wish for him to come here? In a neutral space like a tavern?
Neutral space would be good. I think so.
Alright, sounds like we have a bit of a foundation to work with.
If I can get a foothold here, I will have a fair amount of money to play around. That being said, I can sponsor you all for pretty much anything that you would like to do. So if you can help me get this set up, we can potentially set you up.
No. So these words are not flying empty. Is there a way we can provide to Gorlo something that is irrefutable proof that it is indeed you? A note, signature perhaps, insignia.
Ah, he reaches into a pocket and he pulls out a ring, a signet ring. And he says, if you give this to him, he will know what it means.
Fair enough. And I suppose one last thing from me. You claim that the last time he saw you, he had a knife to your gut. What is it that happened that set him off?
Gideon says, okay. Alcoholic beverages may or may not have been involved. Gambling may or may not have been involved. Gorla losing may or may not have been involved. And me winning in a dubious manner that may not have been within the rules of the game may or may not have been involved. So,
Worst case scenario, we throw you under the bus. Understood.
Again.
you've done it multiple times already, so I don't see why not.
Don't
Just-
worry, we'll keep your name out of our mouths.
Yeah, probably a good idea. If we want to get curry his favor, we probably shouldn't name me. But Gregor says, either way, there are a number of concerning things going on in the city, and I do want to help. They are it is for selfish reasons, because the benefit of the city benefits me at large. But it is, if we can get him on our side, that will help me set up in the area. And make life a little bit better for all of us. He says, Gideon, do you have any contact with the original guards of the code? Gideon shakes his head and looks at you guys. Is the original guards? How were they? You had interactions with them. I didn't after I came to the city.
Well, is he asking us?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sorry, I was typing
They-
this. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Basically, like, how were the guards that you took the carriage from?
How were the
They
guards?
died.
Well, one of them,
They
one of them unfortunately had lost their lives by the time we got there, and the next was gravely injured and instructed us to run, and seemed, we can only presume, had also expired.
Gregor kind of stops and looks down a little bit. His eyes shift back and forth. He kind of nods. You see him swallow.
Indeed,
He says,
this is of grave import.
Gideon, could we arrange to get their bodies, please? Gideon says, I hope so. Hope their bodies are still there. Gregor says, I would like this very much. if we could give him a proper burial. He stands up. He says, "Please excuse me. It was great meeting all of you, but
It
I
was a
am tired."
pleasure. You'll be staying here in the meantime, I presume.
I will. I will.
Then we shall meet again.
He kind of he nods and gives a slight smile. Um, Anybody who wants to roll an insight check,
Yeah.
please do.
Jesus Christ.
We rolling insight?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
4 in a row, dude. I'm gonna be rolling
That's
nothing but nat
insane.
ones in fucking in combat, I swear.
Absalom, the guy is standing up from the table.
The-
And this water is very good.
Worst case scenario, throw Gideon under the bus. This is a good plan.
Yep. Nocturne and Katya. You guys see like a hint of tear in each eye. Hint of tears. And Katya,
Mhm.
you especially see him. He looks very defeated, probably isn't the right word, but very, very upset over the fact that these people, at least one person has died for him already. And based on his reaction, either he is very much a empathetic person, or with a natural 20, he may have known these people. But he's getting very upset if strangers died for him. But he smiles at all of you, excuses himself, and heads into the back.
Give him a slight nod. Oh, he's going to the back, like behind the bar?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where he came out of.
Gotcha.
Well,
Gideon says, "Well, you took it earlier, don't he's on guard. He's on guard."
What was that?
He
You were
said, "Good luck
muffled.
with Gorlo. Don't cheat on a game of cards."
If I do it, I'll know what to do.
And he goes, as for right now," kind of points outside as the sun is going down. He goes, "I'll get some rest. Worry about Gorlo tomorrow."
Fair enough. After drinking my tea, I'll look at the guys and say, fair enough, you'll excuse me, I'll head to my room. Then begin playing around with my new tools.
Okay. So I will wait. What time is it?
It's probably like 9:30, 10 o'clock. Or actually, probably 8:30, 9 o'clock.
PM.
Yeah.
Ah. Then I will sleep soon.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll go into my room as well, and yeah.
Right. As rest takes the three of you, Absalom, you close your eyes and very soon after, you find yourself in a dark space, surrounded by water. You look around. You are young. A child. You look around. You don't see your parents. You don't see your friends. You don't see your neighbors. You see light from the surface far above your head. And you see pieces of building. It looks like the pier, like the docks where you used to play and meet some of the traders, dreaming about potentially one day seeing where they came from. But now those docks lie in ruins, here in the middle of the ocean, in the middle of the dead center of the archipelago. In the distance, you hear this low, mournful call. You swim upward, trying to reach for the surface. You almost get there. And then you hear a crashing as you see far off in the distance something huge, human shaped but not human, get dragged to the depths below by three enormous serpents, one blue, one white, and one gray. As this colossal being is pulled into the depths, you watch as lightning emerges under the water. Electricity emerges from this giant's fingers. Tries to use it on the serpents. They seem to be less than receptive to it. And as they drag them down and down and down, you see a massive shadow pass over. You see the three serpents detach from this giant and swim off as something long and massive, this enormous shadow emerges from the depths, coils around the giant, and you feel this pulse hit you. The other serpents are nowhere to be found. And all of a sudden, you can't breathe water. As you start to struggle, you see the giants being slowly wrapped up. Start to struggle as well. And you watch as the giant struggles and starts kicking and flailing, not understanding, going through the same thing you're going through, because you've always been able to breathe water. And this giant has always been able to breathe water. But not now. The giant is struggling more than you are, and thus drowns before you do. And as you feel the water filling your lungs, which normally is not a big deal, it hurts, and you are racked with pain before you feel a pull. And as you are pulled, you feel the same pulse, but in reverse, passing through your body back to front, not front to back. As the image of the giant and the large shadow fades off into darkness, you become able to breathe again. And you realize that something is latched onto your shirt. You swim around, you rotate yourself, and retreating into the darkness is the white serpent. And you are once again alone.
Hmm.
And you pass on into other dreams. Katya,
Oh boy.
you find yourself in a lightless space, unable to move. There is a presence a familiar presence. You see the moon again. But instead of feeling tentacles wrap around your legs and arms and throat, the moon just glows from that pale gray to a bright purple. And you feel as you start to glow bright purple until you can no longer see the details of yourself, just your silhouette. And you feel change. You feel as you become different on a whole subatomic level. You are reminded of the first night that you ever had one of these dreams. About how there was a flash throughout the Shadowfell. At the time, this wave of energy, most everyone thought that it was the result of the Lord of the Broken Tower. But you know it was something else. Something older. You start to... The glow around you starts to fade. And as it does, you look upon yourself with no recognition. Instead of your pale elven skin, it is mottled and gray, like a body that's been left in water too long. You feel drained, you feel powerless. The moon glows again, and it glows into a purple silhouette of itself. And you can see yourself in the reflection of this purple orb. And you do not recognize yourself. That mottled gray skin extends over your entire body. Your face looks like it has been split open from within. As multiple vibrant folds of energy emerge from your face. Your eyes are gone. Your mouth is gone. Unfamiliar ridges and geometric patterns extend over your flesh. Your hands end in claws, pincers. As you look in horror at yourself. You try to scream, but you can't. And before long, that silhouette of the moon starts to change as well. It starts to branch out as tendrils emerge from the moon. And you watch as you see everyone you've ever held dear transformed, just like you. And emotion is passed unto you, passed into your head. It's not a language. This feels older than language, but it is a feeling. A feeling that you should stop looking for answers and instead embrace the end. And that's where we'll leave off for today.
Ooh.
Alright. Now I know the big snake just removes breathing privileges.
Privileges.
You have now lost the privilege to breathe.
That's gross.
It's
I
like
love it.
it's like the upgraded version of like you are now manually breathing. It's just you have lost the privilege to breathe.
I have no
the-
mouth,
the-
but I must scream.
I have lungs, but I cannot breathe.
Awesome. That was awesome. Thanks.
This is gonna be a fun campaign.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks, Ben. Thanks for the lore dump.
Thanks.
of course, of course. We should, yeah, we're moving in an interesting direction in the story. Um, I think it will. I think it'll be interesting, especially once we get Shino in here.
Yeah.
I need to bother her about some
Oh, yeah.
PNGs for my stream.
I'm excited.
I can't wait until to find out that she's like the happiest go luckiest character on the fucking planet.
I
Which would
had
be
them
good.
to be 3 sad saps.
Was it? Yeah. Well, 2 sad saps
Yeah.
and a lobster. It'd be so funny if she's just a radiant fucking sunshine.
And then we just have a lobster and then 2 sad saps and a guy, one of them who just really likes cranking it.
I'm never gonna let that go.
Brother, it came out your mouth.
I didn't say cranking it. I said I
Yeah,
just
you
start
did.
winding up the fucking thing.
You
No,
straight
man,
up
you
said,
should have said cranking it.
Brother.
You said I was gonna crank it a little in the elevator. And I'm like, God
I'm
damn.
gonna just, I'm just gonna start cranking it. You straight up said it, word for word. I have it on stream.
I couldn't phrase it better. You're right.
No,
I
you're
couldn't
good.
phrase it better.
You're good. That's the best joke ever.
I just start winding up the lever. That's the thing. Listen, I was therapist, okay? I was roleplay, okay?
You're good, bro. You're good. You're good. Just, don't crank it out in public too much, Nocturne,
man.
sleep comes to you. You just start fucking cranking it, man.
Oh my god.
Gets kicked out of the town for cranking it in public.
That'll be the tragedy. That'll be it.
Yep, that's your tragedy. You soliloquize while you're doing it. Oh man, GG's, that was fun.
Thank you for the session. Thank you.
Of course,
Thanks for the
of course.
horror, bro. I embrace that.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot more horror this campaign, which is always really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, since everyone is half asleep, I'm okay with going a little or starting a little later next week if everyone else is. Poor Omar.
Yeah, that'd be rad.
Ultimately,
Like
up to you
we'll
guys.
start with an hour later.
Yeah. We could just start at 11 or 11 Eastern instead of 10 Eastern.
Yeah,
Go with it.
yeah, that would work.
Let me put that in general so we all know.
Yeah, we don't want everybody falling asleep. Dreaming about Eldritch Horrors.
That will be 3rd.
Guys, why are you screaming? But yeah. Thanks for the fun, guys.
Oh yeah.
Thank you guys for showing up.
Yeah.
Bioluminescent skin. Hell yeah.
But I'll make it this Tuesday, so don't worry about that. And I need to look at the VOD to see what the hell happened, so I can catch up.
Oh. Yeah.
I have no idea what happened.
Yeah. A lot of lore.
A lot of lore.
Ben was talking to
I'm
the
ex-
wind.
I was really excited to see where this is going, because now a lot of things are moving in a very different direction.
I'm excited too. I love backstories. They're very fun.
Yeah.
I love horror as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm there's a lot that was left out of Mike's backstory specifically for stuff like this, and I'm very pleased so far.
It's all good. I gave Migs a blank slate. I was like, hey, I have amnesia. Have fun.
Oh, cooking with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the only one with an actual solid memory.
Oh,
Yeah.
here in this campaign?
I just have amnesia for my childhood, but that's kind of normal. I got hit into a big old tsunami,
Yeah, I know you, Omar. Watch that shit be fucking immaculate lore. I fucking know you.
Brother. What you had for your... Dude, you had something really cooking with your Owlin.
Oh yeah, that one was funny.
Dude, that shit is great.
That one was really funny.
Dude, I want to run with that so bad.
Oh god, that one was fucking hilarious.
Sorry. One day, I'll get back to working on that campaign.
Okay.
But yeah, let me head out. Let me take a small nap because I had like 2 hours of sleep, and let me close the stream. Yeah. So, GG's, y'all. This was fun.
GG's.
Until next
Thank you.
time, I'll see some of you on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And if anything, I'll link Omar to Tuesday session so you can watch.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah. Alright, guys. Thanks again, Ben. I'll catch y'all later.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Toodles.
Thank you. Toodles.
Toodles. While stream, I'm out. I'm gonna go raid Shino and take a nap / raid the only Shino because I'm fucking tired. Bro, what you mean? Does not allow raids. What do you mean? / raid. Oh my god.
Make sure you're already up, guys. Make sure you're already up. Oh my gosh, she didn't let me raid you. Did you not raid me, sweetie? I don't know what's been going on with the purple app. I don't know why some peeps can't raid me, but hi, sweetie. How was your stream? How was it? How was D&D? Was it good? Was it spicy today? I got you though, sweetheart. It says that your settings won't let me raid you. Does it? That's so fucking weird.
Yeah, let me try this
I'll
again.
have someone look into it.
Oh no.
Yo, doesn't allow rating. Alright,
Yeah,
well,
the session was great. Lots of lore. Oh, hell yeah. That's
I'm
awesome.
gonna type her Twitch in.
Hi, Travis. Welcome in.
So,
Well, because you rated me, and sorry that it didn't work. I don't know what's going on with that, but hello again, Raiders. How you guys doing? I am the only Shino. I play a lot of DVD and horror content. Welcome in.
we are
Thank you so
expecting
much,
Shino
Alex,
to
for
come
rating
into
me
the
and
session
Those don't know,
the next couple of sessions soon. But yeah.
I want to know what the category would be, but he plays Final
Damn it.
Fantasy 14,
Alright, I'm gonna cut the
also
stream.
some cool
GG's everyone. Y'all have a good night. Bye. Love y'all.